My second day here at Sanibel. I'm at Middle Beach right now, and there's so many rack lines. There's the freshest ones, and they go all the way up to the toe of the dune. So I'm going to do some high rack line looking on my way down the beach, and then I'm going to come back and check out closer to the water as the tide goes out. So I'm looking forward to this day. We'll see what we find. So I'm using my shell scooper early on here because the waves were pretty high, and you just sort of linger by the edge and wait for that little bit of clearing so you can see the shells. And if you see something good, you can use the scooper and grab it. Sometimes it's just a blind grab too. You don't really see anything because of the waves and just hope that you get something good. People ask me all the time about my shell scooper. I bought it years ago, probably 10 years, maybe by now, up on Captiva at a store called YOLO. And I stopped in there this past time, and they don't sell them anymore. So I'm not sure where you can get one, maybe online. But I have shipped it back and forth to Sanibel many times, and now I have it with me all the time now that we're in our RV. But I just love this shell scooper. The reddish-brown plant-like material that you see floating in the water and also washing up on the beach is called sargassum. I don't particularly like it because I've been stung by it. I haven't been stung by the sargassum itself, but tiny creatures can live inside of it, and it can give you blisters or a rash. So I try to avoid it. Also, when there's a lot of it up on the beach, it kind of smells. It releases a hydrogen sulfide gas when it rots, and so it can give the beach a real rotten egg smell. So sometimes you go to the beach and there's a ton of it, and sometimes there's not hardly any at all. But on this particular day, there was definitely some floating in the water, so I was real careful to avoid it. There was a shape just offshore that I kept eyeing on this particular day, and I thought maybe it was a manatee or a shark. I think it was just more of this sargassum floating in like a dense area, but I did keep an eye on it to make sure it wasn't a shark. So don't ever assume that just because there's a bunch of shells here that people have looked through them. A lot of people go straight to the newer rack lines, and these rack lines up here can be the best. This is actually a place where I found my first lion's paw, so I'm excited to hit these higher rack lines up here. I'm gonna pick up some jingles today. There's lots of jingles here. Love these. that? Look at them all. So I'm up in these high rack lines. I don't think I've picked up any Dulcineas lately. I love these. I think they're just really pretty. This is a nice double. So it stays double. Something else I love is just these pure white scallops. They're really beautiful. So sometimes I collect these as well. Just white. Just a little simple cockle, which how pretty. Yeah. And then I love this buttercup. Oops, these too. How pretty these are. Oops, there's how he died. I'm trying to find as many varieties as I can to show you. Found a Talon down here. This is a Talon of some sort. I have to look up the exact kind. It's a little bit broken on the end, but I just wanted to show you what that was. And look at these sweet little coquinas down here. They're just the most amazing colors. Here's a beautiful olive. Cute. Little alder. Definitely worth digging into here. See how pretty old. I'm really drawn to the colors of those scallops. Down here is a limpet. You know what's a limpet because of that little hole in the top? I'm just admiring this pretty scallop. And then here's another little calico clamp. I showed you one of these in a previous video. So I decided I was going to collect jingles, as I said earlier today. And there are so many here. So I love Sanibel because if there's one type of shell that you want, you can usually go and find it. Unless it's a Junonia or something. And then they're a little harder to find. But look at all these jingles, you guys. There's so many. Spiny Jewelbox. Okay, this is really cool, you guys. I'm up in this high rack line, and I just found this right here. It's not something I'm going to keep, but it is an operculum, a really big operculum, and it might be for a horse conch. This is that trap door that keeps the animal safe. That's a really big one. I don't think I've ever found one that big before. It's interesting to see what people are drawn to. I showed you one of these earlier. I just love these buttercup lucines. And there's a really big, oh yeah, really big jingle right here. I actually love pen shells. They're so pretty. I didn't really have anything to do with them, but wow, look at those colors. There's another little buttercup. I did do a short shell and tell wrap up of this shelling session, but I lost the footage, so there is no wrap up at the end of this video. But thanks for watching, and please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and give me a thumbs up, and I will see you down the beach somewhere.